An urgent alert about putting children on a popular diet. The American Academy of Pediatrics is saying keto for kids could be dangerous. I haven't even heard about this. There you go. So I'm glad you're here, Dr. Todd Ellerin, the Vice Chair of Medicine at South Shore Health. Let's talk about it.
All right, Dr. T.
Good to be here.
As you know, some adults use the keto diet, use a high-fat, almost no-carb diet to lose weight and reduce their risk for diabetes, but it's controversial. So what are some of the concerns for adults? Let's start there.
Right. Well, Eddie, you're right. There are some benefits to this. You can have weight loss. Sometimes there's some advantages with your sugar metabolism. But here's the problem. First of all, there aren't studies that have looked at long-term in adults and also with children. And the other problem is tolerability. When you're in a state of low carbohydrates, what we call potential ketosis, you really can feel headaches and fatigue. You can be irritable, and these type of things do make it challenging to stay on that. And remember, carbohydrates are the basic energy currency that we use in our everyday life.
So let's talk about the kids. Why does the American Academy of Pediatricians think that these keto diets could be even more risky?
Well, Maria, it's a very important question. And remember, kids aren't just little adults. Remember, number one, what has been shown is if you restrict carbohydrates too much, you can actually have problems with growth. So, we're kids, you want them to grow normally. That's number one. Another point is that they can have nutritional deficiencies. Easy things. They're B vitamins, for example. A lot of that come from carbohydrates. And the last point is fiber as well. A lot of the good carbohydrates, fiber can keep you regular. It's important for gut health and others. It can also help with sugar metabolism. I want to say one more thing. Carbohydrates are not one entity. There's good carbohydrates like whole grains, things like brown rice, things like legumes, which are beans, are very important. And then there's the bad carbohydrates, which you can imagine, the things like white bread and most importantly, sugary drinks, processed foods like cookies and chips. Those are the things we want to de-emphasize, emphasize the healthier carbs.
And Dr. T, we know that childhood obesity and diabetes as well, it's a growing threat for kids. So what kind of food plan does the Academy of Pediatricians recommend instead? Let's talk about what they're recommending.
Right. First of all, what they don't recommend is completely restricting carbohydrates. They're saying you have to have at least 26% of your calories should be coming from carbohydrates. They emphasize the good carbohydrates, not the bad ones, like I mentioned before. What they're really saying ultimately is think about a Mediterranean diet. Now, what does Mediterranean diet emphasize? It emphasizes lean proteins like seafoods, less red meat. It emphasizes things like nuts and some of those healthier carbohydrates, as well as healthy fats as well. I'd say Mediterranean is more of a balanced diet in essence. They do say that in some kids with diabetes, some restriction of carbohydrates to a moderate level is okay. But remember, you always want to do this in accordance with your pediatrician or diabetic team. So it's challenging and nuanced.
Yeah, that's great advice, but I could never get my kids to eat fish. No way.
Oh, really?
No way.
Oh.
No way.
Oh, we ate a Mediterranean diet. That's
Eddie, don't give up. It's not too late.
Smart man. You're a smart man, Dr. T. Great to see you. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, doctor. Be well.